things will happen.
Yes.
Things will happen to kind of get you off track occasionally, and that may be that the stock market will crash if you invest, or you could lose a job.
Could be.
You could add some children.
There's an unlimited number of factors that can go into how your retirement plan will change. Many of those are unforeseeable, of course.
Right.
So, but we try to protect against a lot of those, and that's why you want to have a plan that always changes.
Some of the younger people, especially, and even some of the more seasoned, live, and especially in this day and time, because I'm telling you, it's tough. Things inflate, and we get hit with more taxes, and first one thing and then another, and we find out that we're just basically living from paycheck to paycheck, and we feel like we don't have enough money to even start thinking or considering putting away for retirement. So you're going to give us some ideas today.
We're going to try
about how maybe we can shave back some things. But some of the pitfalls to look for, too.
Right, that is true.
In this retirement summer camp. We are going to open the phone lines. If you have a question for Kevin Roberts at 571-2428, 571-CHAT. Don't be shy. This is your time to learn.
WFIA, The Spirit.
Let's face it.
Okay, you'll have your live spot in 30
seconds.
seconds.
Confusing. I wanted a small university where I could live on campus and enjoy the city. When I visited Spalding, I knew it was right for me. They helped me figure it all out, even helped me with financial aid and scholarships. Now I'm here living on campus, have a great group of friends, professors who care, and I'm part of a community that wants me to succeed. I know Spalding is right for me. Check us out. We might be right for you too.
Better by Design just keeps impressing me more and more. Bob Leonard is a man after my own heart because, as I said, he is a man of integrity. But he is a man with a wonderful work ethic. And when I walked into Bob's office and I saw the plans that he had, I didn't see those before I heard his heart and his passion about designing. And all the reasons why he even pursued this career, because he had been on the receiving end of some of those nightmare home builds. And so Bob desired that you would not go through the same. And he has worked with hundreds of builders who just give him accolades about his expertise in design. So if you are thinking about building, renovating, remodeling, whatever it is on this side of the river or on the Indiana side of the river, you call Bob Leonard. Better by Design. 502-741-2748. That's 741-2748.
The LA Times says Kentucky Kingdom's newest coaster, Storm Chaser, is a contender for the best coaster of the year, and USA Today calls it one of the most anticipated coasters of the year. Let's hear what the theme park engineering and design students from Purdue University have to say.
I'm so out of breath right now.
Fantastic. I'm giving 12 out of 10.
10.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Incredible. It was so good. That first drop is amazing.
Storm Chaser, only at Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay. KentuckyKingdom.com for special offers.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper and deeper in credit card debt and you're not sure how to fix the problem? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management is a nonprofit organization that will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, and reduce your interest rates by as much as 60%. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. It's not a loan. It's a smart way to relieve your stress, meet your obligations, and preserve your self-respect. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. 1-800-936-5496. That's 1-800-936-5496. If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Kevin Roberts, who is a CPA and financial advisor as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about your retirement. Now, some of you have already kind of taken care of that, or you think you have? Can we really ever be secure in that, Kevin?
It's kind of hard to be, I think. In our practice, we see that they think they are, but then when we look at it, we delve in deep. It's there's some challenges, and we just try to get them in the best position that they possibly can be in it, given their current situation.
Mm-hmm. Is this something we have to monitor constantly?
I suggest so, yes. Some people say once you get your magic number, so to speak, like we heard on commercials,
right?
Years and years for years and years we heard, what's your number and all that, and it's a fallacy to assume
that changes,
yeah,
doesn't it? Because
it does.
All
change.
right. So, what are some of the things that rob us then? When we think that we may be fixed for retirement, and I guess that's kind of what people think of when they're retirement. They want to kind of sustain the lifestyle that they've enjoyed.
Right.
That's kind of a prerequisite, I guess, or starting point maybe for retirement is just to maintain that. So you've worked and you've put away money and you've made proper investments and things, and so you think you're pretty well secure. But what would be some of the things that would rob people of that security? Because that's we want to be in a safe and secure place, right? So. What would be number one that you would think of?
Well, the one thing we think about, of course, is our taxes that we have to pay. That is a big inhibitor to wealth creation. And wealth preservation is the taxes that we're going to pay in retirement and the taxes that we pay throughout our earnings career as well. Some of that's got given back to us in the Social Security, retirement checks that, may or may not be there by the time I retire.
Well,
but
is it going to?
It's there now.
I'm ahead of you, and I'm not sure it's going to be there when I retire.
Well, we plan as if it is going to be there. I think it's a political hypothetical. Of course, it's very unlikely that they'll make many major changes to it, at least right now. So we assume that that's going to be there. But what we cannot predict, of course, is what tax rate we're going to be in retirement. I may have 20 more years or 25 more years of working, but what am I going to, what's my tax rate going to be 20, 25 years from now?
Well, by the time they take out your taxes from your salary, you feel like, haven't you had enough of what I've made?
Yeah.
But it's not
Well, the money you put away in the 401k, for example,
right.
that's going to be completely taxable when you take it out later on. And so, one decision is that a good idea to continue to do that because you don't know what tax rate you're going to be paying later on. So may or may not be a good thing.
So are we looking at?
But we try to get them in the best tax position that they possibly can, not just now, but in retirement as well. Some income sources that may or may not have taxes, or may not be taxable when you take it out later on in life. So that's one of the things.
Is that ever a guarantee, though? I mean, it seems like every time we come up with some, wonderful idea then the government kind of finds some way to undo that.
That loophole could be shut. There's no doubt. But we plan with the existing tax law.
That's why our grandparents put them in, the Prince Albert cans. or buried them out back in the barn.
Right, exactly, yes. So, but the point is, we try to plan, of course, what the current tax law is, and there are sources of income that can be tax free, and we presume that it's going to be that way, but it's not always going to be guaranteed that way. So we try to get you in the best position under current law that you have. Now, what we don't know is what the rate's going to be. The rates seem to change. It changed dramatically 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. So a lot of people got a rude awakening. Had many clients that says, why, I locked money back last year, why do I owe money this year? So you had to explain the tax rate changes and the phantom tax increases that I call them, where they get additional tax but not raise the rates, and it doesn't look bad when that happens. For example, they may have phased out your exemptions that you get on the second page of the return.
So they try to disguise it, basically.
It is a tax increase without changing the rate. That's essentially what it is. So that was a rude awakening 2 or 3 years ago for a lot of our clients.
Well, it hits you under the belt, man. I mean, it's really tough, and because here, we're not in a salary making position by the time we retire.
That's true. Right.
I mean, those. So some people get limited because some people are consultants or something. Yeah. But some people, when they retire, they really just want to quit.
Right. Right. For the most part, people do not have the same earnings capability they have when they're that age versus when they're 45, for example. They just don't have the same earnings capability. So that's a big change.
People don't hire old people.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Well, we're seeing that,
and listen,
I suppose.
And we're seeing companies lay off 45-year-olds, you know. So
and one of the things, one of the biggest risks that has just probably been to the forefront within the last 10 or 15 years that most people don't think about is we're all living longer.
Yes, we are.
So what we would call is longevity risk. In other words, you're going to live longer. In a lot of cases, your years in retirement are going to equal the number of years that you had in your career earnings. Mm-hmm. So, for example, if you had a 35-year working career, you might spend 35 years in retirement. Mm-hmm. So the question is your money going to last that long?
Right.
And when the Social Security system came about, our average our average lifespan was about 65 years old, 66.
Right. Oh, now,
that's when Social Security kicks in right now.
Right.
So, but the average, we plan out to age 100 in our scenarios.
Oh, that's
so
good.
we go out to age 100
like
in every time. So we want to make sure that, or try as best as we can to make sure our money lasts.
Mm-hmm.